Hello and welcome to the Premier League show here on Back of the Net. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
We're an AFC Bournemouth fan channel, but we like to talk about the Premier League and give a review in around 45 seconds of the games from the previous match week. Plus later on the show, Tom Jordan here is going to provide us with his team of the week and also some heroes and villains too. We cannot wait. Tom, it's been a good weekend. Should we get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, then no lunchtime game on Saturday, which made the pubs very empty before kick-off. But in alphabetical order, AFC Bournemouth secured a 2-1 win over rejuvenated Leicester City. They beat Forest 4-0, but they came unstuck against the Cherries.
Yeah, and I think if you're at the game, like we fortunately were, Bournemouth did earn that. They earned it. I thought Leicester took an early lead, but Bournemouth come back into it really, really well. Apart from Maddison, they don't look like they've got enough about them. Surprised me. I thought they'd be better than they showed on the day. And Bournemouth earned the win, mate. And Gary O'Neill is still invincible as Bournemouth manager. Bournemouth up to 8th, so massive. And Leicester need to sort themselves out and quick.
Are Bournemouth still going down, guys? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear the neutral view. At Stamford Bridge, Chelsea, it was a fairly routine win against Wolverhampton Wanderers. 3-0, Graham Potter doing a good job there.
Yeah, it hasn't surprised me that he's gone in there and just got them playing. They've got good players, so Potter's shown that he can just easily turn his hand, go to Chelsea and make him a good side. I think Wolves need to get that new manager in ASAP. They don't look right at the moment, but it was always going to be a difficult game going to Stamford Bridge. Chelsea look really good at the moment under Potter, and they've made the change probably at the right time, and Chelsea still look like they're looking like they're going to be top 4 come the end of the season. Some good performances in there from them. So yeah, kind of what I expected, a comfortable Chelsea win at home.
Meanwhile, at the Etihad, Manchester City dispatched of Southampton 4-0 in what is a fairly routine result for them, you've got to say. You don't look at that result and think, oh wow, that was a whitewashing. It's Man City, it happens.
Yeah, 4-0 away at Man City feels like a normal result, doesn't it? We've done the same, but we've managed to stop Haaland, but no one else can at the moment. He scores again, Cancelo outstanding, Man City outstanding, and yeah, even with Champions League games, they can rotate, they've got that squad. Southampton, it is worrying times at the moment, they're not doing great, but they shouldn't look at this game too much. Going away to Man City, anyone could beat 4-0 as we said, so yeah, comprehensive result there for Man City.
There was a stage where Newcastle United fans were bemoaning their constant stream of draws, but it's fair to say they put that one to bed last week and they carried on their form this week with an astounding 5-1 victory over Brentford, and it was a good one. It
was, mate, and I think it's Bruno being back, Bruno Guimaraes in midfield is really helping them. He makes everything tick for them. Yeah, Newcastle, we all know, we know Eddie Howe personally really well, and the way he gets them playing is starting to show now. Some really good performances, and even the likes of Jacob Murphy and Miggy Almiron are suddenly, he gets the best out of players, Eddie, doesn't he? And they look really good. Brentford having a little bit of a dip at the moment, and they want to make sure that is just a blip and not something long term, because they don't want to get dragged into something after a decent start to the season.
Okay, in the evening kick-off, Brighton and Hove Albion entertained Tottenham Hotspur, and I was one of these people that was resilient and I stuck with Harry Kane over Haaland, and I'm not regretting that at all, but he did score.
He did, and Tottenham got a good win. Typical of Tottenham and Conte at the moment, that they're just grinding them out without being brilliant. Brighton were a little bit unfortunate, and Brighton is still going in the right direction, I think. I think De Zerbi's going to come in and do a decent job there, and they'll be fine. But yeah, big win for Tottenham, because I tell you, Brighton away is not as easy as it sounds on paper maybe. Brighton are a good side, so big win for Tottenham to keep in them top 4 positions and up with a chasing pack after losing the North London derby, mate.
So on to Sunday, and Crystal Palace at the moment, they are on 9 points after a 2-1 victory against Leeds United. They came from behind with a couple of goals from Edouard and Eze, but Patrick Vieira getting the points there, mate. Yeah,
big win, because I think Palace have looked pretty good this season, but because of the difficulty in fixtures, they haven't had the points to back it up. So home to Leeds, you go, right, let's see if they are about it, and then get the win. And even going behind, as you say, mate, they come back into it really well and deserve the win. And yeah, people like Eze, Elise, they got some good young players there, and then quality of Edouard, Zaha. So I think Palace will start to go on a little bit of a run now. The fixtures are quite nice, so I think they just deserve to win that. Leeds still look okay, but I think they're going to be consistently inconsistent all season, and they'll take that, because as long as they don't go down, they'll be happy.
Now, Bournemouth and Fulham fans have got a bit of a love-hate relationship. The hate came earlier on in the season, where Scott Parker was our manager in the Premier League, and of course it all started the previous season in the Championship. Now though, we're best of friends, so I actually quite like to see him do well, and it looked like they could have been getting a result against West Ham United with their early goal from Pereira. However, David Moyes' West Ham, they came good, and Fulham, they fell apart. Fair to say they might be missing their main man.
Absolutely, mate. Obviously, we've got him next, so we'll remains to be seen if Mitrovic will be back and how long his injury is. But yeah, I think from a West Ham perspective, I think they've been playing all right and probably not got the results, and that was big for them to win that. A little bit of a kind of a London derby there, so big, especially going behind. Skamaka scoring again is key for them. They need him to get him the goals because Antonio, with his knocks and stuff like that. But yeah, Fulham, I think their only fear will be they've started the season really well, haven't they? But their fear will be, can we cope when Mitrovic is not available? You never want to be a team that's so reliant on one player. So that remains to be seen. Hopefully, from their perspective, it's only a brief spell on the sidelines. But yeah, West Ham deserve a winners in the end, mate. It's
fair to say that Super Sunday on Sky Sports is delivering, and in their 4:30 game at the Emirates, Arsenal beat Liverpool 3-2 in a game full of talking points. I didn't think Liverpool were this poor side that they have been for large parts of the season. I thought that they actually showed a lot of quality in places, but Arsenal, they more than matched it, and Mikel Arteta, he's got something going there.
Yeah, something's happening at Arsenal, mate.
Something's happening.
Yeah, they look impressive. I think what was key in that game, I felt, was the average age of both sides. I think Arsenal's intensity levels are there at the moment because they've got a very young side. Liverpool's starting to age. And I actually felt that Arsenal looked a little bit like prime Klopp Liverpool in the way they were pressing and the intensity, as I say. So, yeah, I felt, a few contentious decisions. Liverpool weren't horrific, but I felt Arsenal done enough to win the game. Thought they controlled it in the second half. I thought they were very good. Martinelli and Saka, the goal scorers, and they were both outstanding. I don't think Liverpool were horrific. I thought Núñez actually looked quite good for them, but it's not happening with Salah at the moment. I'll tell you what, mate, people have said it when Aubameyang signed the deal at Arsenal, that, he's not the same now he signed the deal. Since Salah signed that deal, something's not right there. So, Liverpool, and I think they've got Rangers in the week, obviously, in the Champions League, and then they play Man City. Liverpool need to turn it around and quick, but long season yet, and I still think they'll be okay.
Meanwhile, across Merseyside, Everton, they went down 2-1 at the hands of Manchester United. Do you remember when we chatted to Harry Redknapp on our pre-season show, and we referenced Cristiano Ronaldo? Whenever he plays, he gets results from Man United, and he did this time, and he scored.
Like you say, Everton started the game really well, but Man U came back into it and they got that injury to Martial. Ronaldo comes on late in the first half and scores late in the first half. That's just what he does. And I was thinking about it, as soon as he come on, I thought he'll be the match winner. It's just typical Ronaldo. But yeah, big win for United because not an easy place to go to Goodison, and they're quietly actually doing all right now under Ten Hag, to be fair to them. And it's a weird one because you want to go, actually results are the proof in the pudding. You're not going to do all right, but I still don't think they're brilliant to watch at the moment. But they're getting results, and that's what Ten Hag needs at the moment till he can kind of get his mould on the team. It's still early days, but I think Everton are looking better than I expected. But disappointing for them to they didn't really lay a glove on United in that second half.
And whilst this is the Premier League show, I do like to put a Bournemouth slant on things. Of course, it's called The View from the South. And as results go, for this one, I know they're lower in the table, but I kind of wanted a draw, and that's what happened, mate.
No, it was nice. I did think, Cook, Mings, Surridge, Ings, I thought they all evened each other out. We need a draw here, and that's what happened. It didn't surprise me too much. I think both teams are desperate for points, but equally, they're probably very nervous of losing football matches. So
for both managers.
Yeah, absolutely. But both of them will go, right, it's a point. They can both kind of use that to their advantage. Go, it's a point, let's move on from there. So let's see what happens. But as you say, mate, from our perspective, we'll take it.
We will absolutely take it then. Right then, Tom, I'm going to give you a choice. Do you want to do your heroes and villains, or do you want to do the team of the week now?
Let's get into the team of the week first.
Let's get into the team of the week. Before we do so, if you've enjoyed what we've done so far, there's a little red button there. Hit the subscribe button. Also give this a like. We would truly appreciate it. All right then, we've got the formation on screen now, and it looks like, Tom, you've gone with a bit of a 3-4-3 here.
Yeah, it's always that way, mate, of trying to get the right players in but not making it look too obscure. So I think I've just about got away with this one. So yeah, we're going to go 3-4-3. Goalkeeper was actually quite difficult. I thought it was because there was no standout in my opinion anyway.
Yeah, true.
But I had to look at a clean sheet. Chelsea got it, and I thought actually since Mendy's been out of the team, Kepa Arrizabalaga, which I think I've pronounced all right, has come in out of nowhere when everyone thought he's a backup keeper, and he's kept another clean sheet and he's doing all right for him. And Potter maybe's hung his hat on him at the moment until he's got that number 1 jersey at the moment, so he deserves a bit of respect. So I'm going to put Kepa in goal.
Okay. Who else have you got in defence then? You got on with a back three?
Yeah, I've gone with a back three. I'm going to put Tomiyasu in there.
Did he play on the left side?
Yes.
But he's often played on the right as well, doesn't he?
He's normally a right back that can fill in at centre half. And weirdly, just to put it back onto Bournemouth very briefly, we've done a similar thing where we were worried about Maddison, so we played our right back at left back to kind of cater for that, if you like.
Astute, though.
And Arteta done very similar. They were without Zinchenko. and you thought, okay, Tierney will come in at left back, but they actually went for Tomiyasu to just follow Salah and watch Salah, and it works really well, and Tomiyasu was superb for him, so he's getting in the team for me for that reason.
Okay, who's next?
I'm going to go Bournemouth, mate.
Are you?
We've got to have a player in this team in a week after a big win against Leicester, and I'm going to go for Marcos Senesi. Was bought in, if you don't know too much, if you're not a Bournemouth fan, was bought in for a decent amount of money, didn't know too much about him, got thrown in the deep end against Jesus, struggled, then played and we lost 9-0, and you thought, this guy is really going to struggle. Then we lose our captain, Lloyd Kelly, centre-half, so we're forced to play Senesi maybe, probably. And he's been really, really good for us lately, and he had a really good game. First of all, Daka, I know he got on the score sheet, but that was a real scrappy goal. And in the main, dealt with him well. Bought on Vardy, dealt with him well. Got man of the match for us, and was really good. So he's going to be my Bournemouth shout for the week, mate. He was our best player, and yeah, really, really pleased for him.
And next, who have you got?
I'm going to put Cancelo. I know he plays basically a winger these days. But oh my God, I mean, I know Man City are a joy.
A different level, isn't he?
He's a different class, whether it's on the right side, left side. You don't know where he's going to be on the pitch. Scored a goal as well, which I was pleased with my fantasy team. But yeah, he's one of the best fullbacks, if not the best fullback in the league for me. I love watching him play. So yeah, Cancelo. So that's going to make up my kind of... It's just, I think they could do a job as a back three, so I'm going to have it.
Yeah, this is like the ultimate five-a-side team you're building it, and you've got strikers in goal, you've got goalkeepers up front.
Right.
All right, midfield. We've got 4 across the midfield, right?
Yeah, so we've got 4 across, so I'm going to go with Saka on that right-hand side. It was obviously the match winner against Liverpool.
Was it a pen?
I think it's soft. I think it's very, very soft. I think it's one of them that you don't want against you because you think there's 2 seconds. But then for you think, well, he has touched him. So yeah, it's a difficult one. But what I will say is everyone remembers Saka's penalty miss for England.
Yeah, good.
A lot of pressure on the lad. He's still a young guy,
21.
which people forget. 2-2 against Liverpool, a massive moment for him, and he tucked it away really nicely. He also scored earlier on in the game. He's outstanding, and at the moment, I think he's probably... Would you even say he's ahead of Grealish for the England team? I think he probably would be.
I really like him. He's so
really
likeable. Absolutely love him.
Yeah, just gets on with his job, and he looks really experienced for such a young lad. So yeah, he deserves to be in there, and he's quite versatile as well. So I'm going to put him on that right side.
Okay, who else we got?
Bruno Guimaraes, or Guimaraes.
Yeah.
He's we briefly alluded to it talking about Newcastle. Yeah. He's like the glue at the moment, keeps it ticking, unbelievable passing range, got 2 goals in my fantasy team, finally rewarding me, because I just think the boys are class act. I think I might have said it on a previous show, but for me, interested to know if there's any other shouts in the comments, maybe for a Madison, someone like that, but outside the big 6, I think he's the best player.
How much was he in FPL, by the way, do you know?
He's not too bad. I can have a quick brief look actually, because that'd be interesting. But I got him in as kind of my like rogue shout in midfield, like not a like real big player in terms of funds. But I just think he's so crucial to Newcastle that he's gonna get the odd points. I thought more of assists, but he got 2 goals. So look at that, he got me 50. It's 5.6. Absolute dream, mate. Got me 15 points. Delighted for him. But
and absolutely pivotal as part of their 5-1 win, wasn't it?
Yeah, brilliant. He's an outstanding player, so he had to be in there for me. He was the first name on the team sheet, actually.
Next, though, mate, can we go a bit left field? Can we go for someone else?
Yeah,
Don't go Man City. Don't go Spurs.
No,
anyone?
I wanted to give a bit of credit to Crystal Palace and the way they played against Leeds and come back from behind.
Yeah, shout.
And there's always that thing about, Zaha's the main man, but I think Eze's going under the radar, sitting a bit deeper sometimes. Obviously, come from QPR as a youngster, had a bad injury. I think he's a really top player, got a good assist. He was always a real starlet in the Championship. A bit like when we got Lewis Cook back. That you get them sort of players in the Championship that you think are ready for that step up. Palace got him, and he feels like he can play in a number of different positions. But I really like him, and I think he's one for the future, particularly for England as well, maybe.
Okay. Finally,
I don't think he's ever played left wing back, but I'm just going to put him on that left side. Mason Mount, couple of assists.
He probably has at some point.
I feel like I wanted to get another Chelsea player in there because it was a real convincing win over Wolves, and he got a couple of assists. I think Mount gets a bit of criticism, particularly for England, because you've got a lot of flair players that can maybe play over him. But I think Potter's kind of using him in the right way, and as I say, a couple of assists for him, and I think he played really well. So I'm going to put Mason Mount in there, mate.
Okay, and you got 3 up front. Then go on, kick it off.
This actually 3 up front is actually quite well suited, I think. Yeah. So I've got kind of 2 inside wide forwards in there. In Anthony off one side, put him on the right, because he got a big goal again for United. I mean, he scored. I know it didn't matter, but he scored against City as well.
Great goal.
Yeah, and he's I'll tell you what, he looks like a good signing, doesn't he? Doing really, really well for him. So that was big. He deserves to be in there for me. He's given them something on the counter attack, and their rise in form has coincided with him coming into the team. Yeah, so he's got to be in there. On the other side, I'm going for Martinelli, because I just thought, even though he only got the 1 goal, he was just outstanding. He was a reason why Trent struggled so much. Martinelli's arguably been the player of the season for Arsenal, and they're doing really well, but he's been levels above at the moment, so he had to be in there. And as a main striker, there wasn't anyone, because Haaland only got the goal. I thought, I can leave him out now. If Haaland doesn't score 3, he's not getting in.
Who you gone for?
So what I've did is I've gone in a real tight affair where they desperately needed a win. Harry Kane done what Harry Kane does, and he got the match winner for Tottenham.
Yeah, fair shot.
It was an outstanding game. Tottenham weren't outstanding to watch, but when they need to win 1-0, you don't even have to look. It was a late game, wasn't it? And I was sitting in the bar actually after the Bournemouth game. Went down, come back up, saw that they'd scored. Didn't even. I went, well, it's going to be Kane, isn't it? And that says it all for me. So Harry Kane's going to lead the line for me, mate. And I think that's a decent little side there.
That's Tom's team of the week. Have we omitted any players? There were a few people last week saying that we should have put Maddison in there. Maybe in hindsight, yeah, maybe he should have. But you know what? Let us know if we've made any shouts that you maybe disagree with. So as a result of that, we've probably got a hero of the week to contend with, mate, haven't we?
Yeah, there's a few we can mention, but I'm going to go for your hero. It's got to be between 2 for me. So let the comments decide, unless you want to take kind of the reins here, but I think got to be.
We'll let the comments decide.
Okay, two players that got braces, 2 players that were influential in big wins for their teams. Saka and Bruno Guimaraes.
Right, okay.
They've got me the 2 for me. Yeah. As I say, both got a couple of goals, but also both involved in massive wins for each of their teams. So
was anyone close to being considered for that?
I want to do a shout out for someone that didn't actually get in the team of my team of the week.
Right.
And that's Cristiano Ronaldo. Because they're 1-1.
Yeah.
The bloke's kind of shoved on the bench. They're 1-1. Martial gets injured. He brings a guy on and he gets the match winner.
What's happening with him? What's happening?
It's a weird one. I think they've been in a stage where they probably felt it was right to move him on, and then realised they haven't got enough options because Cavani left.
Yeah.
And I think they're just thinking we need to keep hold of him. It wouldn't shock me if he went in January maybe. I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, when you get an injury like that and you're 1-1 the game, he'll come on and get you a goal. And that's what he did. So I'm just going to give a little shout out to Ronaldo because it was a big moment for him, a big milestone. Big goal for him, so yeah, he's going to get my shout out.
Manager of the week is coming up. We're going to go villains firstly,
okay.
And look, we'll do a player and also a manager for your villains. Let's start with a manager first, shall we? Who's not had a good match week?
Well, I think I don't want to, because I feel like I've mentioned it before, but you've just got to look at Brendan Rodgers at Leicester, and I'm trying to take, because I think I'm trying to do this by taking my bias hat off, because obviously it was against Bournemouth. And I want to say, the fact of the matter is, after just finally winning a game...
That performance was poor.
It was poor, and they've got to be looking at, I don't want to say it because I'm a Bournemouth fan, but you've got to be looking at Bournemouth as a time to get another result.
Yeah.
And to take the lead in the game, didn't think the changes were very good. I think I realised after that Castagne got a knock, which makes more sense because I thought he was probably their best option out wide. But yeah, I just don't think the changes worked for them. I just don't think, once they've got the lead... They didn't hang on to it, and they, as I say, I was disappointed with them. I wasn't, because I was happy, but you know what I'm saying. And yeah, so got to be Rodgers for that, mate.
I think lots of teams are actually probably used sort of Bournemouth as a yardstick, as a gauge of we've got to beat these. Now maybe they're changing their tune based on the position. Who knows? But
absolutely.
Player-wise, have you got anyone?
Yeah, player-wise, I think we've got to look at that Arsenal-Liverpool game, and I'm just looking at it, and we've mentioned about how well Martinelli did. Trent struggled again, mate. It's horrible to say because he's an English player and I want him to do well. But defensive, I'm almost getting to a stage now where I'm going, bloody good footballer, not a very good defender. Do you know what I mean? And he's really struggling at the moment. I thought for at least 1, if not 2 of the goals, both goals in the first half, he was culpable to a degree.
Yeah.
And then if I'm not saying him, I mentioned it earlier, Salah not performing in a big game, got taken off.
Something's going on in Liverpool. I don't know. It's
a wider conversation, but is it that thing of they're having to go again with that intensity under Klopp, and they're all getting a bit older, and it's same old, and they've lost Mane, and it's just not happening for them at the moment. But yeah, for the villain, I'm going to go for one of them 2, I'm afraid, mate. But yeah, as I say, not sure.
You decide.
Yeah, you let us know on that one.
We've got to end on a high though, and let's go for our managers of the match week then. And well, I say managers, it'll be manager, but you can consider more if you want to, mate. I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, it's obviously tempting to look at your kind of Artetas and that at the top of the league, but we mentioned that at the moment. We can't just go for it every week because he's top of the league. Good win for him, obviously. I obviously want to mention, I don't think it's too biased to mention Gary O'Neill.
No, I don't.
Still hasn't lost a football match.
He's not even a manager.
No, exactly. Still hasn't lost a football match, and he's come from behind twice since being a manager, and he's won both of them football matches. So yeah, he deserves credit. But I'm going to go for another Bournemouth slant, but I'm going to go for a previous manager, Eddie Howe, 5-1 against Brentford. Fantastic performance. We love him.
Eddie.
Always going to be question marks over him, and I think he's showing now what he's about, getting the best out of players that You're talking about, your Joe Lintons, Almiron, Jacob Murphy, they're all going, they're not good enough. Eddie Howe goes in, gets the best out of these players.
Brilliant. Okay, there we go. So in terms of, we'll just chat briefly about FPL. Mate, I've sacked off FPL.
I knew you were going to do this.
Which players...
You say like that, he's too busy.
Look, I'm going to have a look.
Go on, have a look.
Which play? Because bear in mind, I haven't picked my team for absolutely ages.
Yeah.
Like re-picked anyone. I haven't made any transfers, so.
I feel like I was really
68 points.
I do.
That's all right.
That's a good week, man. It's better than the average. Better than the average, I think.
Neto.
But they'll come in. That's why. Oh no, they've done nothing. But Saka. You had Saka and Martinelli. Good stuff from you, and Cancelo at the back, so well played. But
that's the thing. Unlike Super 6, where if you don't go, if you don't play, you're stuffed. It carries on. I'm okay with that. Maybe I'll get a bit of interest as the season goes on. But who's performed well this week then?
Well, I mentioned on the last show, I said that my little tip was to get Zaha in because I think Palace have got good fixtures. I was right in the sense that Palace picked that up, got the win, and he didn't bloody score. It was Eze and Edouard, but I still think you could see what I was saying there because they picked up again.
Mate, like you moaning about Zaha. Are you going to cry in a minute?
Hey, love it. I'm never too disappointed when he's not doing well. He's not that likeable. But I need him to... Can you pick up at the moment, Zara? Because I got you on my team. I'm trying to think going forward. I think Palace is a team to target. I think they've got nice fixtures now, as I say, picking up a little bit. I mean, fixture-wise, you'd probably say Leicester, but they're not performing at the moment. I bought Bruno in, which I'm happy with. I think you can also look at Trossard coming in. He's looking really good for Brighton. I think the main thing at the moment is, it might come back and bite me, but... The prices of Trent, the price of Salah, Diaz just got injured as well. Get them out, and you can get a cheaper option now.
Good point.
You can get a cheaper option now, and I think that's the way to go. I'll tell you a little. I think they just picked up again. Maybe look at your West Ham players now. I think they're starting to get better fixtures. They look good against Fulham. Bowen, Skamaka, even Paqueta in midfield. They're starting to get numbers now. So I would say start looking at your West Ham attackers now. I would say that's my little tip, or just chuck in Dom Solanke, get a few assists, and happy days.
Happy days. There we go then. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe and do all that stuff. This video is for Algard. Keep up the good fight, my man. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be seeing you on a video very, very soon. Up the chest, up the Premier League.
Up the Prem.